All right, welcome everybody. How's it going? Hope you're having a great week. Happy New Year. It is time for the Zoom Racing League F1 schedule reveal for season 3. I'm PBJ. I'm here with Mr. Rivas. How you doing, Rivas?
I'm doing great. This is really exciting. It's fun to do something a little different this season, and we hope you guys all appreciate the effort that's gone in behind the scenes. And man, I'm ready for another season of action in Zoom Racing League.
Yeah, we only do 10 rounds at Zoom Racing League, so you don't get to race every track on the calendar. And there's always favorites, there's always tracks that you hate as well. So the drivers had a vote, and those votes filled in 4 of the tracks on the schedule. Why don't you tell us about the rest of them, Rivas?
So what we tried to do is we tried to best mimic the actual F1 calendar, so that way our drivers are preparing for the track that they're watching the real drivers drive on. So you get some pointers from them. You get to have like sort of a virtual experience of what the drivers are experiencing at the Grand Prix that weekend. And so we want to make it as immersive as possible across multiple platforms, so that what you're doing in game matches a lot with real life. And I think that makes it really fun, because then we can talk about what happened in the real race, and you can think about that move that Max Verstappen made that you want to try to make going into the race. Or you can think of like, oh, when I watched the real race, Yuki Tsunoda did this sort of stint on his tires. I wonder if I can replicate that. And then you can come up with alternate strategies that maybe your peers aren't thinking about.
Absolutely. It's always fun to watch the F1 race in the morning, and then, for those of us in the States anyway, watch it in the morning and then come in and do the race in the evening. So the track's fresh in your brain, you know where it's going and everything. So 10 rounds, 3 rounds have full qualifying. All 3 of those are going to be, voted tracks by the drivers. First race of the first race of the season starts on January 23rd, last race April 10th. So why don't we kick it off and go ahead and announce race number 1, second most voted track on the schedule.
If I can get my button to work here, it is the British Grand Prix, Silverstone.
Silverstone, always a favorite. Fast track, very fast track, lots of high-speed corners. We had great racing there first 2 seasons of Zoom Racing League. Should be a great opener, I think, huh?
Absolutely. It's always been a driver favorite as far as drivers that like more technical flowing circuits, because it gives you a little bit of everything. Well, on the back half of the circuit, when you go through Maggots and Beckett's through that complex down to the Hangar Straight, that is iconic for a lot of people. And of course, as we saw in the real race this year, that high speed just before Maggots and Beckett's going into Copse is a really fun turn when you nail it, but can be somewhat punishing when you get into that runoff and pick all that pickup on your tires. It really slows you down. So it's a good balance of high speed, low speed, medium speed corners.
Yep, great track for overtaking as well. So, what about round number 2? Where are we going after this Silverstone?
A track that it was requested by many. In fact, several were very mad that we decided to do Canada last season, because they wanted to see this track that is new to the game, and that is Imola, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
Yeah, Imola's coming back. Another track that's really fun to drive, and it's a great track to race at as well, I think.
Really great historical track. The Tamburello chicane, of course, is very famous for good and bad reasons, but absolutely fantastic track. Lots of fun. Through Sector 2, you got to be real careful when you go downhill and back uphill. That's a tricky turn leading uphill to the chicane. But yeah, another pretty good technical circuit, but a lot of really good fast corners too.
Absolutely. Moving on to round number 3, the 4th most voted track on the calendar is going to be Brazil, Interlagos, another favorite track. I mean, yeah, it's such a fun track to drive to. All 3 of these are good picks.
Brazil's a really quick track too. We're all familiar with it. It's sort of like the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Drivers just love this track because it's so quick, it's so fast. It's not overly demanding, it's not too technical, and you can get really good side-by-side racing and a lot of good overtaking. The DRS is particularly powerful with this track, and so there's drivers can make up a lot of time by just staying close enough to get in that slipstream and getting a little DRS on the straights.
Absolutely. So we take looks like I'll take a week off there between February 6th and February 20th. You come back for round number 4, and where are we going?
We are going to Suzuka, finally, one of my favorite tracks on the calendar, and we're going to Japan.
Going to Suzuka. So you got 4 fantastic driver tracks to start the season off. And then you get to round number 5 on February 27th. Third most voted track.
And we will be doing full qualifying at Monaco. I know there's a lot of guys that are really excited. We've recently started in the Zoom Racing League, the Monaco 100 Club. So for those of you that don't know, we actually set up events where we will run through a 100% Monaco race. and it's a community event, doesn't count for anything, but you do get a special tag. So you may want to try to get into one of those soon, because February 27th we'll have full qualifying and a 50% race at Monaco.
Man, what a huge! You either love that track or you hate it. So after Monaco, March 6th, where we're going?
Well, speaking of love it or hate it, we are going to what is commonly referred to in German as Parkplatz. That would be the Circuit Paul Ricard, the French Grand Prix.
Oh man, that's another track. You either love it or you hate it. You're absolutely right, and it's it's. I give that track a lot of flack just because it doesn't really feel like you're going anywhere. It all looks the same all the way around it, but it is a fun track to drive, in my opinion. So hopefully we'll get some good racing there again this year. Round 7 after St. Patrick's Day. Looks like we're taking a week off there for spring break as well. So we come back for St. Patrick's Day week. Where are we going on March 20th?
We're going back where it all started with Division 1, Season 1, the Bahrain Grand Prix. We'll be using the normal circuit. We won't be using the shortened or the Sakira Grand Prix layout. So back to Bahrain, really fun track. Everybody knows it pretty well.
Perfect. First night race of the season as well. So after that, March 27th, round number 8, when the championship should be heating up at this point. Where are we going?
We're going to keep it nighttime. We're going to keep it hot. We're going to keep it sandy. We're going to do the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix at Jeddah once again.
It's always good for logistics. Just go right across the little pond there. You go to Saudi Arabia for that race, and that's going to be a race that we've seen in the past. Is super exciting to watch because anything can happen. Penultimate round, round number 9 on April 3rd, full qualifying and the most voted track of the season. Where are we going?
And I was surprised by this because the way our drivers have voted in the past, I would have guessed anything it was going to be Austria. Sorry to let you guys down. It's not Austria. I would have guessed something like Singapore. Singapore's fun. Baku, a lot of fun. We have a lot of drivers that love Baku.
But Canada's another one, right?
Canada we have a huge Canadian contingent. But surprisingly, we had really 3 great races at this track this year. And I think a lot of drivers found it to be more fun than they thought it was. And we are going back to COTA for the United States Grand Prix on April 3rd.
An ultimate round at COTA in Austin, Texas, United States Grand Prix. I like it. And then on April 10th for the season finale, we're going to
a track we have not raced at before, the normal starting track for the season. So it's interesting to see it in this position. We're going down under, mate. We are going to Australia, to Albert Park.
Love it. Love it. Australia is coming back on the calendar. I think, like you said, first time we've ever raced there, actually. So it'll be fun to see how everybody gets on there. So there you have it, folks. Your Season 3 Zoom Racing League F1 calendar. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a fun ride, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're looking forward to some really great racing, and keep it tuned right here on the YouTube channel because we're going to have more stuff coming up, more content for you. And remember, it's all about you drivers. So if you have ideas, send them our way. Visit the Discord. Make sure you like and subscribe here on the YouTube, and we'll try to get more content out to you soon. Thanks for watching.